Private health insurance is what's bankrupting America. It was happening before the Affordable Care Act. The solution, as everyone knows, in my view, who studied this, is Medicare for all.
Do you believe that if you don't get any solution on these extensions of Obamacare, do you believe that the Democrats should shut down government again at the end of January?
I've never been for a shutdown in terms of just getting our way. I am trying to negotiate. One of the issues that we've tried with Michael Lawler, with Kevin Colley, to Republicans, is to say, let's just do the extensions for a year or 2 years.
Yeah, but wait, let's be clear. You voted to keep the government shut down.
Because they did not come even with a compromise. We can get a compromise, even though I'm for national health insurance and Medicare for all, even though I would want to have the Affordable Care Act subsidies be permanent. If we come up with a compromise that at least keeps people with health insurance this coming year in 2026, I'm open to voting for it.
Would you support a government shutdown if that doesn't happen?
I believe it will happen.
California Congressman Ro Khanna with me here yesterday saying he believes a deal will be made on the health care issue to avoid another government shutdown in January. A bipartisan group of nearly 24 senators are working on a deal to extend Obamacare subsidies, which, of course, set to expire at the end of this month. They are weighing a 2-year extension of the tax credits, coupled with a new income eligibility cap and fraud prevention language. The group, led by Senators Susan Collins and Bernie Moreno, aim to announce a framework before the end of the week. Joining me now is Texas Congressman August Pfluger. Congressman, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. And you introduced Senator Rick Scott's More Affordable Care Act in the House. Where does that stand? And tell us what you're expecting here.
Well, it's great to be with you this morning. And, the fact is, let's just kind of back up here. I want to talk about the More Affordable Care Act because it's a great piece of legislation. But we're here because Democrats built the Unaffordable Care Act, known as Obamacare. We're here because they're the only ones that voted on this. It's more costly. It's less transparent. It delivers less quality care to patients around our country. And their narrative that Republicans have somehow built this is completely false. So one of the ways that we can get at the problem that we see and deliver affordable health care is the bill that I'm introducing, which provides transparency. It allows people and consumers to shop across state lines. It gives some competition, and it gives people the choice and the transparency to know that what they're buying is what's going to be delivered to them, which is really important. So I'm excited about this legislation. I think the Speaker of the House knows that this is a good solution. It's not everything, but it's a good step in the right direction. And this week we'll be voting on another piece of legislation which will help with PBM transparency. That's making sure that patients don't needlessly pay for prescription drugs that have hidden costs. It delivers things like association health plans to allow associations to take control and to take accountability, not the government. So there's a lot of things in the works, but the narrative that somehow Democrats have blamed this on the Republicans is completely false.
Well, I mean, look, if you don't get anything done this week, it falls to when you come back after the holidays, right? I mean, is that more likely? Or do you actually think something gets done with regard to extending these subsidies in the next couple of days?
No, I think that issue will be voted on in the House this week. And I think, that what Mr. Khanna said respectfully, Democrats will shut the government down for anything. But that will be voted on. There will be provisions that allow people to have their voice heard on that provision for subsidies. But look, the issue that Ro Khanna is talking about it affects maybe 5 to 6% of Americans. What Republicans want to do is something for 100% of Americans. We want to deliver lower cost, more transparent and competitive solutions for every American, not just a small percentage like Democrats want.
Meanwhile, Congressman, Australia is in mourning this morning, of course, after Sunday's massacre at Bondi Beach. Now we are learning more about the links to terrorism of those responsible. Officials confirmed that the father and son duo are the suspected gunmen. They were motivated by ISIS ideology. 15 people were killed at that Hanukkah celebration. 25 people are still in the hospital this morning. 10 others are in a critical condition. 3 of them are patients in a children's hospital. What can be done here about this anti-Semitism and now radical Islam that we are dealing with, another front in the challenges that this country faces?
Well, Maria, as you talk about the statistics, I mean, it's so sad to think about the Jewish community anywhere, but especially in a country like Australia, in the United States, to have to live in fear. And, our prayers are with all of them in Australia. And quite frankly, they're with every community, every Jewish community around the world, especially here in the United States, because this is something that when you look at the tie to radicalism, the tie to jihadist terrorism, it is real. It is alive, and it's unfortunate. And, you know, we need every single person, every lawmaker, every community leader, every mayor to condemn this act of violence and to come out and say that you are safe and that we are going to protect you, and that any sort of political violence or religious-based violence is not acceptable, and we're going to prosecute it to the fullest extent. And I think that's what's been missing in a lot of ways from the rhetoric of people around the world. This is unacceptable. And I, for one, will do everything possible to support and protect our Jewish community.
All right, Congressman, we will leave it there. We'll be watching your work, of course. Great to see you this morning, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria.
All right, Congressman August Pfluger.